In the previous part, we made our trigger a little bit more robust so that the objectives can be completed in either order. And in this part, we're going to look at objective markers. So I'm going to create 3 locations of interest, which are going to be marked in various ways. Well, we already have 2 points of interest. We have our location here, and we have our enemy that we need to kill. Let's go ahead and expand this area just a little bit, give us a little more room to work with. So I'm going to have 3 points that I indicate with various methods. First, I'm just going to have the starting location be indicated. Now that's not really useful, but we're just demonstrating how to point at a location, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to have a minimap ping appear on the start location at the same time that the quest is discovered. So that's after that short delay in the initialization trigger. We're also going to create a minimap or a visibility modifier right here so that even before we approach, we will still be able to have line of sight on this location and see what's going on here. And the third thing we're going to do is create a minimap icon which will display at the location of this null poacher and will follow its location as it moves. So let's go ahead and set up our triggers for that. We're going to go to our trigger editor, and we're going to create all of these indicators at the time that the quest is discovered. So that's going to be in our initialization trigger. So we have our quest created, we have a little delay, and then we have our quest discovered. And at the same time, or immediately after discovering the quest, we're going to create all of these indicators. So first, let's create our minimap ping. So we're going to create that at the position of our start location. Oops, I just dragged that out of the window. Didn't mean to do that. We're going to create our minimap ping at the location of the start location. So we're going to go to our triggers and new action. Minimap pings are listed in the cinematic category. So down here we're going to see ping minimap and also ping minimap with color. Ping minimap is just going to be one generic ping graphic that you can't modify. Minimap with color is going to be a choice of 3 possible styles of the ping, and you can also tint it a different color. In this case, we're just going to use a regular minimap ping. So we get to choose 3 arguments. We have who sees it. All players is fine in this case. The position where we're going to place it, and the duration for which it will be visible. I want to make sure that you can actually see it in game, so we're going to set that to 5 seconds. And we're going to choose our position is going to be our position of the start location. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Today I learned start location doesn't count as a unit. So we're going to make it the position of the paladin instead. So now that we have this, it will ping the minimap, and this is a very flashy effect that's kind of hard to miss, so it'll really call attention to the location, but it only lasts for a short duration. Well, you could make it last for a long duration, but I wouldn't advise that because it'll clutter up the minimap if you have multiple of them. Next, we're going to create a visibility modifier at this location. So we're going to go new action, and visibility has its own category right at the bottom. And we're going to create a visibility modifier region or a circle. The difference between these two is a region is we simply select a region and it will make the area boxed by this region visible, or fog of war, or whatever we choose. The other option is a circle, where we select a single point rather than a region, and it will reveal or change visibility of a circle around that point. So I'm going to use a circle, and we're going to emit visibility for player 1, initially enabled. We have a choice of visibility, fog of war, or black mask. And the point that we're going to use will just be the center of the region, the place. The radius by default is 512. 512 is the size of the side length of one of these large grid squares. So that's 512. These ones are 128 each, and so on. So a radius of 512 is going to be, well, 2 grid squares wide at its diameter. Our third and final visibility type that we're going to create will be the Minimap icon. These are kind of fun to work with because they have some inconsistent naming conventions in the trigger editor. So we'll go to New Action, and this is going to be in the Quest category, and we've got Campaign Quest Ping on Unit or at Point. The difference between these two is at point will place the icon on the map at a point, and it will not move. Creating it on a unit will attach it to the location of a unit. So as the unit moves, the minimap icon will also move, synchronized with the position of the unit. And then we also have Destroy Minimap Icon. So this is where we run into the weird terminology. Campaign Quest Ping is a minimap icon. They're the same thing. I have no idea why they have 2 names for them. In fact, they have 3 names for them, because right here in the description text, they're calling it a Campaign Quest icon. So I don't know what was going on at Blizzard when they did that. Must have been some kind of miscommunication, or, somebody changed their mind about what to call it. Either way, Campaign Quest Ping does not create a map ping, it creates a minimap icon. So we're going to create a minimap icon attached to that null poacher. So create Campaign Quest Icon on, we'll select our null poacher from the variables list, and then we have a couple of styles to choose from. This is another thing that I think was kind of rushed when they made it. Primary, bonus, and control point, all of these are just a circle with an exclamation point in various colors. Turn in is a circle with a question mark, and I think it comes in yellow. And boss is going to be a glowing red skull. So I'm going to use primary red in this particular example. So now, once our quest is discovered, we're going to have a minimap ping at the position of the paladin, a visibility modifier at the place, and a map icon on the poacher. A couple things worth noting here. Pinging the minimap at the position of the paladin, this ping will not follow the paladin as he moves. This ping will check his position one time, and then start the ping at that position, and the ping will continue at that position, regardless of where the paladin is during the duration of the rest of the ping. Second thing that I need to note here is that creating a campaign quest icon or minimap icon attached to a unit, this icon will remain at the location of the unit even after they die. So if that unit dies, the icon will stay there attached to the corpse of the unit, and even after the corpse has decayed, it will stay there at the position where the unit was when it died. So in order to make it disappear when the poacher dies, we're going to have to actually add that into this trigger that fires when the poacher dies. So before we do any of the quest requirement stuff, we're going to add a new action, quest destroy minimap icon. And of course now we need to talk about a variable for it, so we're going to have to add a variable for this minimap icon. We'll go to our edit variables. The type is going to be minimap icon. We'll call it poacher icon. So we're going to destroy that icon, and of course we need to set our variable for it in the initialization. So poacher icon is last created minimap icon. There we go. So now this icon will be created, and then it will be destroyed when the unit dies. Same thing goes for visibility modifiers. They will not automatically disappear at any time. You have to set them as a variable and specifically tell them to be destroyed. In this case, I'll show where the function is for that. It's visibility and then destroy visibility modifier. In this case, I'm not even going to worry about it because the scenario is so short, it doesn't matter. So let's run the map and see what this looks like in game. Alright, so once our quest is discovered, you can see that green indication there, that is the minimap ping, and after 5 seconds it's gone. The red icon there is our minimap icon, which will follow the null poacher. And you can see over here, we have line of sight on this area, and we will permanently have line of sight here until a trigger tells this visibility modifier to change or disable or be destroyed.
I am not afraid, as you wish.
So to demonstrate the icon following the unit, I'm going to hit this guy and aggro him, and then run away, and you can see as he chases us, that map icon follows his location. And you can actually see the pixel that indicates where he is stepping from pixel to pixel on the map, but the icon actually moves perfectly smooth, with more precision than what the actual map itself shows. So that's just a interesting side note about it. Anyway, that is 3 distinct ways to call attention to points on the map for your quest. In the next part, we're going to take a look at implementing NPC dialogue.